help you?
Oh yeah, can you put Jeff S on the 2-5 list, please?
You got it, Jeff S.
Thank you very much. Alright, welcome back to the vlog. Found out that Red Rock opened up their poker room this week. Just opened up last night. So they got the plexiglass tables and they're going A-handed. So we put our name on the list for the 2-5. Fun news, the channel reached 1,000 subscribers. Wow, thank you so much for all your support. It has been tremendous. Really, really appreciate it. This really happened quickly. Last few videos have done well, and I couldn't have done it without all your support. And I really appreciate all the comments on ways I can improve. Not only how to play hands better, which I appreciate, but it's just nice to hear things that you'd like to see in the channel, things you'd like to improve, things that we may have missed. It's a Tuesday night, so I don't plan to be playing too long, so go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment below, or you can even look for down below in the description for my email, and I'll most definitely get back to you. So we're here in Blue Diamond, Nevada, about 30 minutes west of downtown Las Vegas, just a little ways past Red Rock Canyon. Nice little town, quaint little town off the beaten path, and that's where we found some wild burros. So we had a little bit of fun with them before they walked away. Got a little warm out here, and just figured we'd bring some hand histories to you right here. So as you saw, we were on the waiting list for the 2-5 game over at Red Rock. Got over there, there's still a wait list and just the one table going, but they had an open seat available for the 1-2 right then. So why not jump in, get some hands in before we get called into the 2-5 game. Okay, the first hand we're gonna go over here, we put a couple orbits now. It's folded to us in the hijack, and we look down at pocket queens. I got the video started a little late, but you can see here I've already raised up to $8. The hijack and the button both call. We're out to a flop of Jack 5-7 with 2 spades. We're first to act here, so I'm going to continuation bet. And we bet about half the pot, $15. Hoping to get a call for any kind of Jack X type of holding, although the price is right for anyone with a straight or flush draw to continue. However, the cutoff folds and the button makes the call, which is good. We've thinned the field. The turn is a 4. I bet out about 3/4 of the pot, $45, as I'm pretty sure he's holding a jack here. So I want to make it look like, or at least I'm hoping to make it look like, I'm chasing a flush and he'll come along. He does make the call. The river's a 3. Unfortunately, is a 3 of spades. So it does complete the story I've been telling of the flush. That being said, I don't think any big bet's going to get called here. So I bet $60, probably still a little bit high, but less than half the pot, hoping to get some kind of value out of his jack holdings. Unfortunately, he turns his jack face up and folds, and we take down our first hand of the night. A few hands later, we're under the gun and we look down at pocket 8s. I make a raise up to $7 and we get 3 callers. Before the flop, both blinds check dark, and the flop is 6 and Jack 5. I continuation bet for about half the pot, again $15, and only the small blind calls. The turn's 4 and he checks again. I put him on a weak jack, maybe even pocket 9s or pocket 10s, as there hasn't really been any 3-betting at this table with pairs pre-flop. The 6 does improve our hand to a straight draw, so of course I'm going to bet out, but I bet small, only $25, to see if maybe he'll raise so I can narrow down his hand. But he just makes the call. Now, the river's a decent one as it brings an 8 and now we have a set. I really don't put him on a pocket 7s type of hand here. Although it's possible the way he played it, but highly unlikely. He checks again, with a little more than 100 in the pot. He's let me get there. He's checked all the way through. I think just hoping that I would just keep bluffing away, which I did, but he never raised me. He never stopped me from doing it. It worked out in our favor. We hit our set. I bet out $70, about 3/4 of the pot. He quickly calls without any thought at all. I show my set. He looks a little disbelief, like, oh, you got lucky there. And yeah, actually I did get lucky there, but you did nothing to stop me from getting lucky. He mucks his hand, and we take it down. Okay, a few hands later, we're in the big blind. We looked at a king jack of diamonds. So the same player from the last hand that check called all the way to a losing hand raises to $5. The button, the small blind, and myself and the big blind all make the call, and we're off to a flop of Queen 5-5 Rainbow. It checks all the way around. The turn brings a 10 of clubs. It checks all the way around, and the button bets out $5. Small blind folds, I make the call. Original raiser folds, and we're off to a river of a 9 of clubs. I check, he bets $15. We've hit runner under straight, and I think trip fives is the most obvious hand here. But since he did bet when the club hit the turn and didn't bet again on the river, it's possibly has a flush, so I don't want to raise here. Just keep the pot small, see if we're right with our read of trip fives. So I call $15, and I was right. He didn't have a flush. Oh, he has a straight flush. Well, that's a pretty good hand too. That'll win the pot. Nice hand. Read him like a book. Nailed that one. Okay, next hand with the big blind. We get one limper and the small blind limps as well, and we look down at pocket queens. We make a raise up to $11. The limper makes the call, small blind folds, and we're off to a flop of 3-4 jack. With 24 in the pot, I bet $15. This flop doesn't connect great with his limp calling range most of the time, so I'm just hoping he has a jack in his hand and will continue on, or maybe a 6-7 suited type hand and he wants to chase his gut shot. He makes the call. The turn is an ace. I bet $25 and he quickly calls. So I no longer like this turn card. I bet it because I thought it hit my raising range more than his limp calling range, but with his quick call, I'm not too sure. The river is a 5. I check and he bets $30. I now feel he has the ace, but I'm not completely sold. And even if he does, I want to see what he limp called with pre-flop and call the flop post-flop with. With his bet, there's 130 in the middle, so I make the call. And he shows 4-5 for a river 2 pair. Classic case. Flop bottom pair, ride this thing to the end. Do or die. Nice hand. Okay, the next hand, the straddle is on. The guy putting on the straddle has been straddling every chance on the button, and he doesn't typically raise at all, and has checked just about, if not, every single time. This is also the same guy from the very first hand with the pocket queens with the jack high board that showed his jack and folded, and I'm assuming he thought I had a flush when the spade hit in the river. So in this hand, we look down at jack 10 offsuit. It was folded all the way to us. We go ahead and just make the call of the $5 straddle. And he does not disappoint. He does not raise it. He checks his option. So we're heads up and we're off to a flop. Flop comes out 10-9-4 with 2 diamonds. I check, as he has been c-betting his straddles when he can, and he bets out $7. I make the call with top pair here, and the turn is an ace. The ace doesn't worry me too much as he didn't raise pre-flop, but I go ahead and check here anyway with the intention of calling just about any bet he makes. He bets out $15 and I make the call. The river is another 10, so pretty decent river. Any thoughts of him also holding the 10? Highly diminished at this point in time. It's pretty unlikely that he's holding the case 10 with a better kicker in his hand. But I check as I think he wants to be aggressive against me and take a pot down against me. Not to mention with diamonds out there, he's probably putting me on the busted diamond draw, so he's going to get a bet in and try to take one down. He bets out $22 into a pot of 57. I raise about a pot-sized bet of $70. And he folds, verbally disgusted. The great thing is, again, he doesn't get to see my hand. So at this point, my chip stack looks like this. And I'm next on the list for the 2-5. Oh, no, wait, that's the guy next to me's chip. That's Eric Howard, subscriber to the channel. I met Eric at the table, and we've been talking, having a good time. I decided to stay at the 1-2 table for a bit instead of moving to the 2-5, as getting a chance to play with subscribers and having some fun is a nice opportunity. So we stick around, get to know Eric a little more, which works out because the 2-5 game actually breaks after about 30-45 minutes more. Okay, in this hand, we pick up 5 deuce of spades. So, of course, my favorite hand, I come out blasting like I have pocket aces. And that didn't work out too well. We lost that hand. Well, Eric decides to leave, and I move seats over to his spot, hoping to get better table footage as I can see more of the table. So a little while later, we looked at a 5 deuce once again. Of course, we're going to play this hand. Spoiler alert, I win a huge pot. All right, well, we check all the way to the river, we pair our 5s, and we're good. We take it down. Big pot. Next hand, straddle is on by the same guy who's been straddling. Folds to me, I look down at 3, 5 of clubs. We're gonna go ahead and raise this up. We min raise to $10. The straddler makes the call. We're off to a flop of King 10 9 with 2 diamonds. About $17, and he disgustedly folds his cards into the muck. Okay, on this hand, we're on the button, and we look down at Ace King. Spoiler alert, I do not limp with my Ace King. For those that remember last video. This hand. Okay, the next hand, we're looking down 8 deuce of spades, and we decide just to limp in here. There's already one limper in front of us. The small blind limps as well. Big blind spoils the party, raises to $7. Well, all 3 limpers call. We have position, and we're off to a flop of 8 queen 5 rainbow. Checks all the way over to me. I'm gonna bet half the pot, $14 here. The blinds both fold. I get ready to muck my cards here. The other limper sits and thinks for a little bit, and then makes the call. Turns the jack of spades. So now we have a flush draw, and we have 3rd best pair on the board with a fabulous kicker of a deuce. So we're looking to do some damage here. He checks, and I bet it really small, only $17. Tiny bet, just want to see if he's going to raise here with a 2 pair or a set type of hand, especially with a flush draw on board, and that way we can understand where we're at. But he only makes the call. The river's a 9 of spades. He checks again. He has a little over 100 left. So I get a little greedy and I say all in. I shove 100 out there, put another $3 out there just for good measure. And unfortunately, he says, I bet too much. He waits for a little bit, he's humming and hawing, and then he turns over pocket 5s for a flopped set. And then he folds. And we take it down with our flush. Okay, we're on the button here, and I decided to go ahead and put a $5 straddle out there. We've been playing a lot of 6-handed here, so let's go ahead and build these pots up a little bit more. Big blind, he makes the call for the $5, and we look down at King 3 of diamonds. We're gonna raise it up here in the straddle, and in position, we make it $15. He folds, and we win. So a few hands later, we're back on the button. We decide to straddle once again, still playing 6-handed. Folds all the way around to the same big blind who limps in to make the call. We look down at 10-5 offsuit, even stronger than before, and we raise once again to $15, and he folds. Okay, in this hand, we try to straddle. We put the straddle out there, but I'm told Under the Gun has already put a straddle out. A little hard for me to see with the plexiglass. Some of the reflection of other players' chips was right over where his $5 chip was sitting. So didn't see it, was told I couldn't straddle. There's one limper as it gets to us. We looked at pocket 5s on the button. Works out pretty good. We're gonna raise it anyhow. We make it $20 to go. Folds all the way over to the limper, who re-raises to 65. Now my experience with the limp raisers has been very, very strong hands, and this guy has not got out of line whatsoever. However, I got $20 invested, we do have a pair, and we're in position. I feel he's holding aces, kings, or ace king here. Ultimately, whatever the case, we're set mining here. We're gonna make the call for an additional $45. And we're off to a flop of, wait a minute, what's he doing? He's betting at $100 pre-flop, blind. Oh, I need a 5. The flop comes out, King 8-5. No, that's a 6. So close. Really can't continue here. Can't beat aces, can't beat kings, can't beat ace king, or any other pair for that matter. I make the fold. Next hand, we're in the small blind. Cutoff raises to $10. We look down at 9-7 of hearts. I make the call, big blind makes the call, and we're off to a flop of ace 7-6 with 1 heart. Checks over to the raiser who bets out $20. I flopped a pair and a backdoor flush draw, not going anywhere for $20 with $50 in the middle. Big blind folds, heads up to a turn of a 7. I check and he bets all in for $130. I'm not really sure why he bets so much here. He bet twice the pot, so obviously I'm not going anywhere. I have 3 7s. I quickly make the call. Only hand I guess it would be a concern is pocket aces, or he has a 7 with a better kicker, which I highly doubt since he was a pre-flop raiser and he hasn't been getting out of line at all. The river is a complete brick. We win. He shows ace queen. One of the last few hands of the night, we looked down at 7-3 of hearts, and we decided to get a little out of line, make a raise of the $10. We get 2 callers, and the flop is ace 4-7 with 1 heart. I check, he bets $20, pretty much the exact same spot as we were in last time, except for a different player. We flopped a pair, backdoor flush draw. It's a $20 call into a pot that has $50, so we make the call. The turn is a king of hearts, giving us 4 to the flush, still have a pair, not the greatest. I check, he checks back, this is good news. The river is a 3. We've now hit our 2 pair, I bet $50, he quickly calls, which feels like great news, and the great feelings go away when he shows ace 4 for a flopped bigger 2 pair. Whoops. That's what you get for playing 7-3. End up losing $80 and looking like a real, well, donkey. We end up racking up shortly thereafter, put in about 3.5 hours of play, bought for $300, cashed out for $445. Not a huge night, but in a 1-2 game, 3.5 hours, that equates out to about 40 bucks an hour. If you can get 10 big blinds an hour, that's a pretty good night. So in a 1-2 game, to get about 40 bucks, can't complain, won't be mad at all. All right, well, from this beautiful little town of Blue Diamond, not really a tourist town, it's a nice little spot tucked away in the hills west of Las Vegas. Been trying to get back to some of the nature shots that I've been sharing from the beginning videos. It's just been hot out here in the desert. So anyway, thanks again for joining me. Thanks for helping me grow this channel into something so fast. It's been a blast. Can't wait to bring you some more footage. Hit that like, subscribe button. Be safe out there, and we'll see you at the tables.